Okay, so for some bloopers, I'll just maybe laugh a little bit and do stuff like that.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Dunya,
Yeah.
thank you so much for doing this with me. Hama barang ufawetse your team and you reach out Kurim. I'm really looking forward to asking you some difficult questions.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really flattered and honored to be part of your program.
So I was actually saying this to Faris as well. When we hear Dunya Maumoon, for example, a lot of us first hear Maumoon. And that's basically what we base our opinion of you on. I don't think we should do that. I don't agree with that. So if you could do a little introduction of you apart from that, what would you tell them?
Yeah, hama komemihekes Aila matters, and I think Faris is Buni. We are very proud to be sons and daughters of Maumoon Abdul Qayyum and of our mother Nasrina Ibrahim. And kommis kantata ke member fan kari mes hama gaithere mes daswamundane, and I think Marangalu kantatang erat we have been able to learn from our parents. Then ea ekiga hama komemihekes individual. They have their own thoughts and viewpoints. I see myself as someone who is very committed to serving. I had the opportunity to rangal education and also ability to get a good experience and learn about the country and its people. So I think I am very suited. Majli hoge member kawang e rayituna ikhlas teriko gatung adi gabil kang huregen tadim huregen masike kodde venati.
Actually do. I'm going to remove this thing. Yeah, this second. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. Then at the Kuriga, when we were chatting, you mentioned something about doing you and Kahal Tantan Gweseki Kahala work. I don't think we know about that. Afnan menengeni misalaka minister kangula nyaya kantanuni ekahal misinformation mikiriya singeni. So I would really like to know more about the work that we don't know you've done.
I mean, like you said, Adi Hasakorajege, younger people, and you are a lot younger than me. My first job was actually with the UN. I graduated from Cambridge University, UK, and then I also did a master's there, and my master's was on gender activism and the Islamic revival. So, emme boda balambe nomvi Islam deenuge thereng Islam deen mahama bawaru haggutang anghenunette. It talks a lot about equality, equity, Quran abayas hadith, Prophet's life abayas sallallahu fene. That there was a lot of positive, that women had a strong role, hama women leadership ka ane Rasulullah encouraged Kurab Africa. So I wanted to look at that and see, it was kind of Islamic feminism, if you will, so younger meho, because we grew up obviously with strong roots in our religion, and it was important for me to look at these questions. Then had the UN exam, so I actually was given my first job, Beirut, Lebanon. I did kind of 2 papers and an interview, but I had just started a family, so my first son was already born, and I really didn't want to part with him or my husband, so we wanted to be together, and that's why I gave up that job. But I then worked for the UN in Maldives, and I think that gave me a lot of experience. And gender issues, women's rights issues, which I continue to be passionate about. Area work, and also a lot to do with research on youth issues, HIV/AIDS, also on drug use in Maldives. Many like groundbreaking issues that people didn't talk about before that. So gender-based violence and studying the situation on reproductive health. Rajye situation balafa program sadafa. I would work with the government and NGOs on those areas, and it was a very good learning experience for me. And tsunami Ayaruga was at the UN, so I was very key or important part of government ikiga rajage mihuna relief for the recovery projects and I traveled, I saw people how they had suffered from the tsunami, losing many lives and property, and it was affected me as well as it affected a lot of people, but it also gave me strength that I could work in supporting and helping those affected, and I think it was part of the healing, if you will, from such a traumatic event Rajya faced.
That's incredible. I can't believe I didn't know all this about you, actually. Like, I feel like a lot of people can relate, at least people I know who've done similar jobs or want to do similar jobs here. I think we have no idea you've done all of this. Thank you so much for that service, Asluga. And I was just thinking about like there are මිදෝස් කොළ දැන් හොරිහා candidate was promises make කරන්නේ එකහල වාහකත මෙන්න වෙස් දක්කන්නේ. So we are quite confused as the public. We are like who is really who does මේ කාකු දක්කා වාහකයන් මේ වගුත් එමෙ මුහිම් මේ අස්ලෝ හරුමෙන්න. So we don't really know. So what would you say sets you apart from the rest of the candidates?
I think again, ane mihem bunairu dem vare cliche hen hive dane, but people who know me will know that I work sincerely and I work to serve because that gives me a lot of satisfaction. I don't need to work for the money as such because I am very well provided for in my family at the moment. But I want to do work that will give me satisfaction and benefit others. So community eka serve kurang as a Majlis member, I think I have a special role because of my experience and of knowing Rajya hamavara rangala varigina atoltaka gos rahituna gato. And I think mihun aslu benum ve ikhlas teriya. Like people think, okay, if you have a lot of money, you are there to spend the money, but longer term balanya a short term anika chekanege mihar rajige raitun tibihalum wagotiki candidate un kari mehani timanmen fasa denota hiya de miha kashe qurani ekamuko raitun ves miharu. It's like a game for them though. I'm not saying this in a kind of flippant way, inge the raitun tibihalum, it matters to them. Hamage kavarnero befene hamavara haluga vara tojefa mi ule etabai, and the incomes are barely ends meet nuwe. They have debts or they have other medical issues. Ekaleki kanta dimawad mi hunang in life. So they actually need that support. Then politicians sadly were about false promise thing, and they also believe but I don't think that actually happens. People inge ginamihung are very decent people, and they know when they see a candidate who is actually standing by their word or is committed to serving. I don't think spreading a lot of money necessarily is going to get the votes. But a longer term so genuinely their issues majlihu gawakalat koddigen policy wise and to bring in the right resources. I believe there's a lot of wastage. Politicians tere, government terega, and rayitunge fasa midani on stuff that's probably not benefiting. And then corruption is one huge issue because corruption and we have not been able to deal with the big corruptions that have happened. And rayitung aslu we are aware about a faith and no way to most politicians and candidates, and I think it's very sad because hasako younger people, genuine people asking nuni nek rajige politics service, rajige futures rangalu akashe. So I think it's important for them to see genuine people who actually are going to stand by their word, who hold their values and principles, and who are actually working to make things better. And promise confused people don't know that much about people. They only kind of hear and see what people say, and there's often a lot of stuff that is not true even. My message is Angala Visna for choice Nagashe. You may know I'm standing Hulumale Dekunu Daira, over 3,000 people on the voter register, and people ask me why that area, but I'll tell you the reasons if you're interested to know.
Please do.
And I worked in a party called Maldives National Party, and I worked in phase 2 in the presidential election. Then for certain reasons and because a lot of...
Can I actually ask you that question so you can answer? I can cut it properly. I was just thinking about that. Okay. Hemveru utur. Okay. So I've just wondered why Hulumale Dekunu?
Hulumale Dekunu for interesting kind of history there. Maldives National Party golongaru I worked in phase 2 Hia flats, and then I always had a special link to Hulumale, and at that time gave a special project, and many people were like me vane kame nune kinenge bodo island hikkani etana mihun abaduko, and we saw it happening in our lifetime, meaning I think I had just started my family. So first people moved 87 ga the project asluga initiate we 91 92 ehataga first people moved. I think oh no, my dates are wrong here. So I'll go back to that. I think 2004 hata tsunami was that year, right? So then we're special linking a bit. Then it's close to Male, but it's not Male, and also any access was fast. And in my team, there were people who worked and friends I had from Hulumale. So etanang aslu diumuga shawari kangai. Of course, my own family is here in Male itself. I think Hulumale is unique. It's a city. It has a lot of challenges. It's a very beautiful place. I think many people from Male are going the Hama to get out of Male to the beach side, or there's a lot of greenery. So
it's quite different
it's
there.
nice. But as floods there, then development, people have their own unique challenges. A community spirit and now Bodam Maleka Vamundati, people are worried. And it has potential though, every pleasant Tanaka. So I think once we deal with challenges like housing, still same things though, youth without jobs, a lot of young people on drugs, so many social issues, women, violence faced, women's issues, single moms, and I have to add single dads because the issue people don't talk about, but it's very much out there now. I've always worked a lot in the social issues, and I want to focus on vulnerable groups of border because I think that is who we need to work with. I mean, private sector or Rangalanga and Kura, there are families, of course there are issues, but a need of balanya, vulnerability of balanya, disability is there, elderly people, emi hunge care, because our social systems have changed, a family in Benje support, and also a lot of young people who don't have the right family support when they're growing up, and we have young people in crime, we have so many things that our country needs to deal with.
Interesting with the Hulumale history. Yeah, it's true, it's very special. I also love it there whenever I visit. So I am going to get some backlash, I'm assuming, when I do this interview with you for Tamkamka, because I did an interview with Faris as well. And while Faris especially is a fan favorite, I still got some backlash because he's from a certain family. Miharu, vara gina mihun e backlash gavas mi comment taka kuri comment ki mihar vara duas vidzenung he mi ailage mihun power gawle tha divehi rajyaka. While a lot of people respect your family and all that you've done, some people are also quite frustrated that the same people keep coming up over and over again. So what do you think about it? Why do you believe you still need to be or would like to be in a power position? And why do you decide?
Yeah, interesting question. And I think like even my children have to deal with the comments on these issues. I know Farisangana criticisms myself because I think firstly, growing up in privilege is seen to be a crime. Okay, it was our circumstances. Nobody chooses their parents, right? So they are born into a family and for us, all we can say is we are very proud of our dad and mom. And I think since it's not because he was in a powerful position, not because he became president, though I believe he actually served very sincerely and he built a country. There's opinions on it, okay? There was stuff that needed to be improved, which we agree with. So, Waki family we shouldn't be discriminated against it. I think it gave us a lot of grounding politics and to serve as well. And growing up in a political family means issues discussed. We are seeing what's happening around us. Ultimately, we went into politics largely because my dad support kora. I think I joined the let's say politics UN and foreign ministry, and I started in 2007 beginning. Then 2008 he was voted out. And at that time, I really wanted to support him because there was a lot of unfair criticism. Rajya Beru Hasako. I'm not condemning MDP. They were looking for space for political party to be established. So Rajya saw a lot of changes, though other political parties asked. We were very new to certain things like Beragos, Beru Mediaga, Hamasida, Dogu Habar, Feturias, and Nenge Erugesarokar, different Kuraka. So I went there to fight for that because I believed it's important to portray a kind of reasonable viewpoint on what's happening in a country. Then, and I remember Dad Karibuning, like, why are you running the sixth term? Because I knew that especially younger people at that time wanted a change. So they wanted to see just a change because to try new leadership. And can't really blame them either because that's only natural. Somebody's been there for a while. But I remember also mentioning to people, because I think, again, not to condemn politicians, sometimes the value of something you know after you lose. So we had years of stability, we had years of growth, and as a country, Human Development Index, many other things, we were making good progress. Of course, I'm not saying we couldn't have done better. Personally, I feel after that change, because the stability went. So one thing was abadu sarukar badalwani mehar. Then abadu badalwaru emmen hope kure rangalu anekama ekam anna komme sarukar kum same mistakes repeat watana fene. So people are getting more and more frustrated. Emihunge conditions are better in way. Emihung earning capacity better in way. Gina service the rangal in way. So unfortunately, some countries, like I would say maybe in the region or other, we have countries that actually go backwards. So they're not really, things are not improving. And we really need to take a good look at how our politics is going. Are the parties working for the people? And I am an independent candidate. I've had experience of political parties, but unfortunately, hama fennani gina fahara hama amilla kurieru masha magam takasha. Not saying magam gulung is a crime. Again, magam ka annangulu also I don't think is a crime. I would love to be in a position to serve, whether it was in the government or not. But I think irada korevi gotang, I am now an independent, which maybe gives me itur freedoms take, and I can actually look at things more objectively. I can talk on the real issues. I don't have to in that way, I believe I'm a stronger candidate. I'm the only independent candidate for this area. And those parties have failed, I would say, in serving the people of this country, in governments as well. So maybe Akamaka Vedan, a minimum candidate, I think brings certain strengths. Sincerity test koro and bodang emihung raitung issues of ahakadakato belen komme viplaina kangankat kurakanu je. And as I have my own name as well in the country, already commenting on issues and talking on issues, so I think I bring that strength as well. And people know that I have always resulted dakka fuka kuri work takuga, and I believe served the people well in the positions that I have been in.
Yeah, I think I agree. I have never had that perspective where Tibuna and political gig boduvima, you sort of raised to serve the country almost. I've never thought about you guys like that. But that makes a lot more sense now, like Faris, you and other two siblings as well. So I'm what about understand Tibunit, and I agree. I think you guys have done a lot. Tibunit always fenifakanne garmenge menavesati. We won't know how important something is until we lose it, or how much it's working until we lose it. I think politically, and when I was getting those backlashes about the family gave this by interview kurum, that's exactly what I said. I sometimes get the family backlash thing every now and then, to not to your extent, but and it really frustrates me. We can't choose our parents, just like poor people can't choose their parents. Privileged people can't choose their parents either. So, tikuri hidumateng armanaka anikachan madike nubunaven kannege wak family yakong amay.
Aslo learn kura values kannenge family anna rather than ekam label kurima wagot ke label longe baade to. I'm very proud, for example, of my children, and I hope I have contributed to make them better people and good people. And I think definitely my parents have contributed a lot, including to the grandchildren's upbringing. People respect my dad a lot for who he is, and they continue to respect and love him. That's not just because he was in power, and I think it's for the individual who he is. So people should again judge on the individuals, not what their surname is or which their family came from. Okay. Hasako privilege ka bodua mi hona. I think it's very easy not to think about the people of the country, or they can have a good life and enjoy themselves, right? So in that case, I think in our family, a commitment in Natihing, and it's something we enjoy, and it's something we feel we owe to the country that we should serve. And then I guess in other countries, by families like India, let's say the Gandhi family, a generation. I don't believe in that. I don't think that we are owed that. But I think a Libby for upbringing, education knowledge that you can contribute, and if you want to contribute, it should not be something that can be used against you. Then anything we have to prove, right? I mean, tafat field tafat work interact, then people will believe that you're sincere or that you can deliver. So it's up to us to show that, and I am ready for this challenge to show that I can serve.
And I really hope that the people give you that chance to prove yourself as a Majlis member. I think you have proved yourself in so many other ways. But this, like you said, will be a different experience, interacting with people, being close to them. And I wish you nothing but good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And it's been a great pleasure to be here. I'm committed to serving. So either enjoy through Kovias, and especially I enjoy working with younger people as well. Inshallah, and I am very hopeful on the campaign as well.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, you seem happy. You looked happy. That was good. Great.
If he's happy, then we're good.
Yeah, he looked happy.
Yeah.
I liked it too. I asked some. Yeah, that's a
quite
good
different
answer.
though Faris asked though.
Oh,
Faris smart asked me though, don't you think?
Yeah, and I would expect the opposite.
Yeah, you expected the opposite though. Yeah, I'm taking this off instead. Maybe mic na kar shimole.
Bike kanta barang which I love.
Okay.
I love that.
He's very popular though. Yeah, he has good.
People love him.
My daughter comes home from school. Daughter ta kore the billa bonga. She said, "You don't make in a pocket." I was like, really? I said, look, he's done nothing wrong. He's a good candidate. So what he grew up in a palace, that wasn't anything that